Hello everybody, my name is Idiotic Synergy and today we are going to have a look at the new Warcry box, Sundered Fate, which I really like. The models in it look fucking cool. Yeah, these models just look great. If you like Skinks and like really cool looking cultists, this one's for you. Seriously, I want this box. Even the terrain looks really cool and unique. But we'll get into that in a minute because first up we've got these little guys, the chameleon skinks, and I like them. I really like them. They're just like little chameleons with clubs and shit. I don't know much about the skinks, but I do like them. I want to collect them. I want to collect an entire army of them because look at how little and small they are. I I also like the fact that sorry, it's this guy here. This guy running, he's running with purpose. He is. He isn't just posing. Unlike that guy who's got like a weird mace weapon, or like a flail where he's just going and ready to hit someone in the head with them. But I really like this guy here. He's running with a purpose. He is. But one of my favorite models of these is this guy here because he hasn't just got one very weird. There's a point. How the fuck is he firing that? Or is it like a musical instrument, like a horn? Because I thought this would be a blowpipe, but he's got another one there, so I don't know. Unless it is sort of like a blowpipe and it fires something out of the mouth, but then again, how is he doing that? I don't know. Why am I arguing about practicality in a Warhammer model? It doesn't exist, but it is really cool. I really like this guy here. I mean, he's got two spears. He's got two spears, a shield, and he's just yelling his head off. Also, I like that he's wearing another skull on top of his own head. That's really cool. And you've got these guys here who, yeah, I just like them. The sculpt looks fantastic. We've already seen this one here. I like how instead of just using tactical rocks, they're now standing on tactical twigs. That's quite cool. But my favourite skink model is just further down, which are these terror wings, and I like them. I really like the terror wings. I mean, look at them. They are. Look at the paint job on the wings themselves. They're shiny and look really cool. But you know why I like these models a lot? Because I'm looking at them and I'm not thinking that if I paint them, they're going to look ruined. I'm thinking even if I just go over them with a basic contrast and do like the slap chop method, they will look really nice and bright and colourful. That's really cool. I like seeing models that are really cool looking, but not so overly complicated where I'm like, oh, if I paint this, it's going to be ruined. But honestly, these Terror Wings look brilliant. I mean, this guy here, he looks smug as hell, if I'm being honest. I mean, look at that. He's got his head in the air like, look at me, I'm the best. And yeah, he's standing on a tactical tree branch, which is slightly different than a tactical twig. But I do like these models. These models are really cool, and I want to know how big their bases are, because if their bases are small enough, then I might use them as like a Chaos Familiar for like a Chaos Gang. That would be really quite cool to see. Have like a little Chaos Gang with these guys as like familiars. That'd be really cool for Necromunda. But that's not all, folks, because we have got the Jade Obelisk, which I really like the sound of them. This thing here, I really fucking like too. It's anyway. We'll get into that monster in a minute, which I assume might be the speaker in the stone. Basically, these warriors gain great resilience and power at the low cost of their bodies slowly turning to stone. Tzeentch is such an asshole, isn't he? Isn't like Nurgle, where Nurgle's like, yeah, you might become rotten, but look on the bright side, you're working for me, and other than looking horrible and smelling like death, you'd be fine. Corn rewards people. It's like, oh yeah, just collect skulls and stuff. You'll become even buffer and stronger. Tzeentch is like, oh, if you play music loud enough and stuff, I'll give you like a noise marine guitar which can destroy buildings and shit. Tzeentch is always like, oh, do this and I might help you, but it will always come with a downside that you'll regret in like 10 years' time. Like the bloody Thousand Suns found out when all of them turned to dust. Thanks, Ehrman. And Magnus. Oh dear. Anyway, I really like the models here. I really like the models here. Hang on. The bird like speaker. So that is the speaker in the stone then. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't too sure because when I first read through this, I always sort of do like a quick glance through everything. But I always thought that'd be like the final stage where one of them got to the final stage and they're stone, but they can sort of still move. If that makes sense, it probably doesn't, but it's Tzeentch, so nothing makes bloody sense, does it? But yeah, these cultists are in for a tough time, and I really like I really like them. I like this guy here who has to carry this giant fuck off stone. That must be heavy, mustn't it? Like if he drops that on someone, that just kills them outright. Or I like to think he carries that, but every so often he accidentally drops on his foot. It's just the worst pain. But what's really impressive about this cult isn't the weird bird creature. It isn't this model, but it's this model. The Nephrite priestess. The reason I say this model's impressive is because whoever did the sculpting of the hair and the painting of the hair is a fucking wizard. I mean, look at that. That's really well done. Not only that, I just like the model. The model looks great. She's on her own little podium showing off. Like, ooh, I got a heart. And also, she's got many scars. So this isn't even the first sacrifice she did. This poor bastard here has to carry this giant stone and just looks like he's in pain. I also like the swords and this giant fuck off like, I don't know, is it an amulet? I assume it's an amulet, but what an oh, yeah, it's like strapped to his back. No, there's straps there, so that's just a massive amulet he has to carry as well. This guy has got the worst deal out of all the cultists, I'm convinced. Because though this guy here might have to look after this bird, this guy here has to carry this massive stone on his back while carrying a massive amulet. And is still expected to fight with two swords, which are probably made out of that stone. Oh dear, if I was him I would give up. It's like the most pain. Oh god, can you imagine having his back? His back must hurt. Anyway, the other models look cool. I like these. I like this model here. His chosen weapon is a hammer and a chisel. I like how his chosen weapon is a hammer and chisel. That's quite funny. I really like this guy here. He's just brought a massive sledgehammer to the fight. This guy here's... I mean, what I've noticed about some of these weapons is that this seems to be made out of like regular steel and stuff. But these weapons aren't, so I'm wondering if they will have a different profile. Because they're made out of the same stone that are making the blades and everything. Also, I've noticed that this arrow has the tips similar to the stone. Also, this guy here seems to have another mask. And I do like the mask, but I also like this little demon here who's just... I don't even know. It's like a snake bird thing. It's horrific, but I really like it. And you know what? You could probably use that as a Chaos Familiar as well. That could probably work as a Chaos Familiar. Or as like a cultist, or just anything in Necromunda, really. I just like the guy who's going to battle with a hammer and chisel. And yeah, sorry for rambling for so long, but seriously, these models look fucking great. And also, the terrain itself just looks brilliant. This is the terrain. The branches look like they've got hands. Like, seriously, these look like hands and talons, and they're about to, you know, it's really creepy, really odd, but fits really well with the setting they're in. A Night Lord would be happy with this rack because it's got skin on it, and Night Lords like their skin. Also, there's just some sort of death pit here. It's just so cool. The terrain looks cool. Everything here tells a story. And that's what I like the most about this box, is that it tells a story. And what the fuck happened there? But it tells a story, and that's what I really like to see. That's why I like the Kill Team boxes. That's why I like the Warcry boxes, because they tell an individual story. It's always like a small... sort of like a small scale fight, always with like a decent story around it. And you know what? That's good enough for me. Anyway, that's it, and yeah, that's it. And honestly, I like it. I like it a lot. And I thought that usually the asterisks provide like more detail about the speaker in the stone, but nah, it's just jokes, innit? But I've been Idiotic Synergy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care and stay safe.